Iron sharpeneth iron. So the general saying goes, and even the Holy Bible also talks about that. And what that implies is move with people that will help you develop your skills, your talents, and move you in the direction of progress and growth. It also implies that if any relationship is not moving you in the direction of progress, you should just discontinue and go on with your life. It is better to be alone than to be among foolish companions. On this exciting note, I welcome you again to the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. My name is Demola Sonyaolu, and I'll be right back after this short break. Thank you.
Àkókò ló dé ló já máa kọrin hip hop èyí rè ló já máa dàbí àrà o èyí rè ló já máa ṣòun bí àrà o balẹ̀balẹ̀ a ò fọmọ yóò fáyò tójú bá mọ́ olóko àròkọ olódò àròdò èyí ni mo fẹ́ iṣẹ́ orin ni mo yàn. Èyí ni mo fẹ́ iṣẹ́ orin ni mo yàn. Asáré tètè kò jẹ́ kọjá ilé, àrìgbẹ̀dẹ̀ kò jẹ́ sísọ́nà. Àlílọ lílọ là ń lọ, àbọ̀ la ó padà wálé. Ilé ẹni, iṣẹ́ ẹni, ilé ẹni. Bàbá rẹ̀ ní fẹ̀yìntì, bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí. Asáré tètè kò jẹ́ kọjá ilé, àrìgbẹ̀dẹ̀ kò jẹ́ sísọ́nà. Àlílọ lílọ là ń lọ, àbọ̀ la ó padà wálé. Ilé ẹni, iṣẹ́ ẹni. Pàlàpàlà ló mọ́ mọ́ àkàlà tó fi ń kálá. Tẹ́ bá bíbí lèrè máa rí sọ, òdodo ọ̀rọ̀. If you don't know where you dey go, where you dey come, you go dey run around like say you dey find something there. I have seen the shadows, the way that to the light, and deep inside my mind, it feels so hard to bear. Now it's time, let us rise, we can make it all together. We've done it once before, we can do it once again. Asáré tètè kò jẹ́ kọjá ilé, àrìgbẹ̀dẹ̀ kò jẹ́ sísọ́nà. Àlílọ lílọ là ń lọ, àbọ̀ la ó padà wálé. Ilé ẹni, iṣẹ́ ẹni, ilé ẹni. Bàbá rẹ̀ ní fẹ̀yìntì, bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí. Asáré tètè kò jẹ́ kọjá ilé, àrìgbẹ̀dẹ̀ kò jẹ́ sísọ́nà. Àlílọ lílọ là ń lọ, àbọ̀ la ó padà wálé. Ilé ẹni, iṣẹ́ ẹni, ilé ẹni. Bàbá rẹ̀ ní fẹ̀yìntì, bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí. Ọmọ sọ́hún tó dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Kò má sí. Ọmọ sọ́hún tó dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Kò má sí. Ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ọmọ sọ́hún tó dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Kò má sí. Ọmọ sọ́hún tó dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Kò má sí. Ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ó yá máa dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Ó yá dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Ó yá dàbí ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ó yá dàbí ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ó yá dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Ó yá dàbí àṣà ìdílé wa. Ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Ó yá dàbí ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ, ẹgbẹ́ lárugẹ. Iléyá, iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá, bá a ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ rántí ilé o. Iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá, iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá. Iléyá, iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá, bá a ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ rántí ilé o. Iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá, iléyá, ẹ̀yin ará iléyá.
Welcome back. Today I have a special guest, and he's a filmmaker, he's a storyteller, he's a director, he's a photographer, he's a cinematographer, and he's a producer. His career has spanned more than 4 decades in industry, and he specializes in producing movies that promote Nigerians' rich cultural heritage, and he has a root in documentation, archiving, education, entertainment, and promotion of the cultural heritage of Nigeria. I have with me Tunde Kelani, popularly known as TK. Uncle Tunde, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Tunde Kelani, TK, and I'm a filmmaker. I've had ups and downs through the development of media. You can say from orality to social media, a lot of ups and downs for the last 40 years, and I can tell you I've enjoyed every moment of it. Right now, I'm on the Backstage Story Show with Demola on Nollywood Radio France.
That is Uncle Tunde Kelani. We call him TK. That's his popular name. So I'm going to be using TK, Uncle Tunde, along this interview, and to show a lot of respect. And because of our rich cultural heritage, I'll be calling him Uncle Tunde all along. Uncle Tunde, good afternoon. Welcome again to this exciting episode of the Backstage Story Show. We want to give your listeners a background history of who you are, sir.
First of all, I prefer you say TK because many people are not used to Uncle Tunde. There are apparently maybe a million Uncle Tundes, but TK triggers. I mean, it's a memory jogger of who TK is. When I started in the beginning, I didn't know I was going to be in any way associated with filmmaking. I just fell in love with a camera, and once I got a camera of several of them, I never let them go. And because of my interest in literature, theater, cinema, and especially cinema, I started a career in photography as an apprentice. But I saw many of the big films that came into Nigeria in the cinemas in Lagos. And when I saw Kongi Harvest, which was written and starred our own Kongi, Professor Wole Soyinka, a Nobel laureate, and great talents in Nigeria like Rashid Onikoyi, and Dakwade Lugba, and Wale Ogunyemi, our great uncle Orlando Martins, and others I knew well. Now I have to consider filmmaking, and I joined the Western Nigerian Television where I was trained as a film cameraman, and then proceeded to London Film School to do a professional diploma course in the art and technique of filmmaking, and came back into Nigeria and became independent filmmaker. I think altogether my experience in television spanned about 10 years, and when we started main film production, I still did a lot of newsreel work for the BBC World Service and Reuters, and an occasional independent filmmakers from outside the country. And my position gave me the opportunity to travel Nigeria, to know its people, and to explore and become perhaps an unwilling witness to some of the great events that were to shape our country, Nigeria. So I make films. I'm an independent filmmaker in Nigeria, and sort of experiencing the industry and the phenomenon of what is generally regarded as Nollywood.
All right. I've been speaking with TK, and he has given us a brief history about who he really is. Now, TK, let's talk about your relationship with your grandfather. It was the Balogun, it was a chief, or the Balogun of Ijaiko Kudi, right? Your relationship with him, would you say, contributed a lot to your interest in movie production?
Well, I think that what I gained from my grandfather and the whole environment exposed me to our rich cultural heritage. For instance, we had we're living in a compound in houses that are locked together, and that is where we learned tolerance, because we had to mix people with different faiths, Christians, Muslims, traditional Orisha worshippers. We were all one, and we shared everything. We shared the festival. We shared seasons. And living with my grandfather, although as a child you are not permitted to talk mostly, but you listened, and the other chiefs you regularly hold meetings, and one of what came to my consciousness was that they started the meeting from morning till afternoon, and I decided, that when I grew up, I would be able to speak from morning till afternoon without stopping. I thought that I could just talk without something, because at that time, that is what it appeared to me, that they just talked. So I felt that, yes, this was an important part of being an adult and so on. So at first hand, I experienced the Yoruba way of life and culture. The whole community invested in me, and because you are mentored not from your biological relation, but from the community, you could end up and sleep anywhere you liked. They just shouted across, where is he? He's with us. Don't worry. You come back in the morning, and so on. Things that have disappeared. I think there has been alienation from our culture, and we are all now witnessing a lot of underdevelopment.
All right. TK, you worked earlier in the 70s as a BBC, TV, and Reuters correspondent, and then you traveled to Ethiopia, and then you were in Zimbabwe for their independence. Your travels, your journey, your sojourning all over these places, how has it contributed to your...
In fact, when I was in the Western Nigerian television, I traveled locally, and later I changed to Lagos Nigerian Broadcasting Service, or NBC TV. That gave me the opportunity to travel with journalists like John Chaiman and to all those places: Ethiopia, Mauritius, Seychelles, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, and all those places. And inevitably, it opened my mind, not just at home, but across the continent, and got involved in, for instance, the independence of Seychelles, and then the great election that brought Mugabe into power in Zimbabwe, and is still there now, and we visited Ethiopia, and we recorded the drought in Wolof, and all those great events. And so it was, for me, preparation of a journey. My association with the Western press, worked for BBC World Service with at least 4 correspondents, and occasionally worked for Reuters, was to come later in my career, after I left television, maybe between late 80s and early 90s. I, was really active. For instance, during the Babangida Abacha era, to the incarceration of Moshood Abiola, the president-elect who won the election, and up to the murder and assassination of Kudrat Abiola and the eventual burial of MK Abiola himself. After that time, I felt there was nothing that could be more exciting, and then I started to withdraw to face making narrative films fully, and turn my back on newsreel work.
I have been speaking with Tunde Kelani. He's a film producer, he's a director, he's a storyteller, he's a photographer, he's a cinematographer, he's a producer. He's an embodiment of this industry. He's all encompassing. TK, I'll need to ask you, after you finished from London Film School, you co-produced a movie with Adebayo Faleti called The Dilemma of Reverend Father Michael. You want to tell us about that? I think that's the origin of your filmmaking.
When I came back when I turned independent, what I did was to team up with my friend Wale Fano, and we started a company that's called Cinecraft, Independent Films. It's still in Surulere, and Wale has done a good job to keep it alive. But what we did then was we had acquired some filmmaking equipment, and we had some expertise. So we provided those services, and we worked technically on most of the Yoruba movies that were made at that time. And sooner or later, I got the bug and said, wait a minute, it's a few years after I left London Film, so I should really be thinking of producing our first film. And so the way I went about it was to look at Adiba Faliti's work and chose the one I felt would be the easiest to produce. And I selected Idamokpa di Mikailu, The Dilemma of Father Michael, and we adapted it and titled it Iwa. And basically, it's an interesting story of a gang of criminals, robbers, that inducted a young person, and when they went out, for his sort of induction, they asked him to shoot the victim in a robbery, and the poor boy had to comply, and an innocent boy shot the victim, but he had a conscience, and he had gone to confess to the Reverend Father Catholic priest to say he had committed a crime, that he had shot someone, and the father had advised him to go and report himself to the police. And they said, and this boy says, no, it's between me and God, and you are a representative of God, so I'm telling you, but if you lie, you can expose me and tell the authorities, but I'm not stupid, I'm not going to do that. But now that I've confessed to you, a Catholic priest, that you have preached all these things, then you can go and report me. So it became a dilemma, because the poor Reverend Father could not tell the police, and he expected the culprit himself to report himself. So it became a dilemma, in the foreign religion and what it preaches, and in contradiction to the cultural belief of a people. So that perhaps was the dilemma. That was the drama that attracted me to him in the first place. The idea of me working in low budget was I couldn't pay Adiba Faliti for the rights. So I thought that if he became co-producer, then I didn't have to pay him. So we became partners. And then I had a partner who became another producer, and Faliti had another partner. So eventually we ended up with about 5 co-producers. And that was my baptism to filmmaking.
All right. Celluloid, sir. Celluloid films and the modern film production. There are some films you did in celluloid that you worked on. Anikura, Ogun Ajayi, Yaniwura, Taxi Driver, Iwa, and Fokumoyo. You want to talk about celluloid and the modern film production?
Well, this is interesting from the point of view of the technology, because then I felt the whole process of the chemical process of celluloid was cumbersome, it was foreign, it was expensive, and because the early filmmakers could not control the means of production, we had to rely on getting the foreign exchange to source for the material from abroad. And after we have even made the film, we had to ship everything back to the West or to America for processing and so on. So we couldn't really control the process. And not until, fortunately, due to some economic factor, the Nigerian economy collapsed. And then we started to look for an alternative process, an alternative technology of making films. And I think that today, due to advancement, because the Nigerian film industry went through phases, after we couldn't work in the negative process, we still managed to use reversal films, which was used extensively in television broadcasting. And after that, the introduction of ENGs, electronic new gathering video system, was instantly adopted. Both professional and consumer, everything, Nigeria had appropriated to make films on video. But today, fortunately for us, within the period of 20 years, We are suddenly in a knowledge era, we are in a digital era, and what I had done is provide applicants with the means of production. That means we could actually own the necessary equipment or the technology to tell our stories, and within that period, Nollywood, in the popular Nollywood was born, and suddenly we have a voice, and we could contribute meaningfully to global cinema. We can show our cultural diversity, and we established our own homespun industry, which is becoming global. We started with what we say charity begins at home. We started from home, and now we are on our way through advancement in technology, advantages of technology, and to giving the world our own brand, of filmmaking. And we started from local, and we are going global.
All right, I have been speaking with Tunde Kelani on the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. Don't go anywhere. There's still more to come. We'll be right back after this short break.
Nigeria o baba àwa lọ́rọ̀ láti bẹ̀ sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ajé Nigeria yìí o ọmọdé lọ́rọ̀ láti bẹ̀ sọ baba bímọ ọba jẹ́sẹ̀ lárí jíwá ẹ̀mí mímọ́ a ò lè dáṣẹ́ o ọba jẹ́sẹ̀ lárí jíwá ẹ̀mí mímọ́ a ò lè dáṣẹ́ o ọba jẹ́sẹ̀ lárí jíwá ẹ̀mí mímọ́. Ọlọ́run olùgbàlà wa ìwọ ṣáà ló ti yọ àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì kúrò lóko ẹrú wò ó bí àwọn ògo wẹrẹ wọ̀nyí ti ké fún onírúurú ohun ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn Ọlọ́run wò ó bí iná fìtílà orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí ṣe ń jó rẹ́súrẹ́sú fún ọ̀dà òróró tí òróró yìí sì ń ṣọ̀dà níbi ìsùn pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ògo wẹrẹ wọ̀nyí ké nítorí bí wọ́n ti ń wo àwọn òbí wọn ti ń fi òógùn pẹ̀lú omijé lójú fúrúgbìn Ọlọ́run ìgbà wo ni àsìkò fífi ayọ̀ká yóò dé. Bàbá mi mọ́ bàbá jẹ́sẹ̀ dáríjì wá ẹ̀mí mi mọ́ Jésù Kristi olùgbàlà a ò lè dáṣẹ́ o. Tí ìbànújẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbanú oko wọn gangan. Olùtùnú ó wá tù wá nínú. Ìgbà tó gun ayé jẹ́ tó hàn lẹ́ mọ́ wọn bàbá. Olùṣègùn ó wá ṣẹ́gun. Bàbá. Iyọ̀ àti pẹ́tò. Àwọ̀ àti pèyọ́tò. Ojú wo wá o, ìlú Nàìjíríà. Ojú wo wá o. Ojú wo wá o, ìlú Nàìjíríà. Ojú wo wá o, Olúwa. Ọlọ́run, ọ̀pọ̀ ẹni tí àjọ nìyà yìí náà ló ti pọ̀. Wọ́n ṣe wọn ò rọ́nà àbáyọ. Ṣé bí wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ kó bá pẹ̀lẹ́ alẹ́ mi? Ayọ̀ ń bọ̀ lọ́wọ́. Ìgbà wo gan-an lẹ̀rín fẹ́ rọ́pò ẹ̀kún wa ní Nàìjíríà? Olúwa bojú bolẹ̀ kó wà. Agara ń dá ní Olúwa. Ìlú Nàìjíríà. ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o, ìyànjú lẹ́ẹ̀dá ń gbà.
Yes, welcome back. I am still with Tunde Kelani, TK. TK, you were an assistant director and you were also an actor in a movie in 1990, this drama, American drama, Mr. Johnson. And it featured Pierce Brosnan, Maynard Eziashi. You want to talk about that movie? How did you feel directing, being an assistant director on that movie and also an actor?
Well, you know, I've had sort of a long years of preparation from the day I was employed in television in 1970. I've been tutored and mentored by. After I came from London Film School, I worked on great films. I worked at least on 2 of Ogunde's films, and the late Gilbert Ogunde, you know, who is one of Nigeria's greatest pioneers in cinema, brought his technicians from England, and his director, you know, from England, and I'd always worked in many capacities, and for me as my own preparation. And I worked with Dr. Olabalogun too, and we worked together on Moshibolaton and on his own film, you know, at least 2 of his own movies too, and Owolagba, Money Power, and I work with people like Adeyemi Afolayan, Adilove, you know, occasionally who bring in foreign technicians as well. With Olabalogun, you know, I was working with technicians from Brazil and who spoke Portuguese, you know, and so for me, again, it was a great opportunity because they tipped me to work on Mr. Johnson, and for 3 months, you know, I was on a daily basis working with the best in the world and being close to Bruce Beresford, the director himself. And when I joined the team and the crew, I learned, you know, from like the director of photography, Peter James, who is an ASC, and the production designer, Abba Painter, you know, and all the international cast. And just listening and working with these people, I mean, gave me so much experience, you know, so invaluable to me that there's no way I could have, you know, gained that experience. But perhaps more importantly, it gave me the opportunity to study the literary source material, which is Mr. Johnson, which was written by Joyce Carey. And there was a controversy that Joyce Carey was not qualified to write on colonial administration. And then I studied the screenplay adaptation by William Boyd. And the interesting part of it, I was given the part to play of James. So I was involved in a way with this project, in a way that what it gave me was more than money. It was actually preparing me also for the role that I was to play later in my own career.
All right, I have been speaking with TK, Tunde Kelani, and it's nice to have you here, sir. It's nice to have your time. Tunde Kelani is giving me quite a time here because he has spared his time for me to grant this interview. So it's a privilege and a honor, sir. Now, you started your own company, Mainframe, in 1991 precisely. Mainframe's films and television production, also called Opomulero. Now, since you started your company, would you say, what has been your experience? I'm sure it's not a bed of roses all the while, but what has been your experience? Some of the challenges you encountered in trying to stabilize your own production company?
Well, I think Mainframe Productions, Opomulero, we knew from day one that what our mission was. Our mission primarily was that, yes, we will entertain our people, but we will make seriously meaningful films. And we said that in the process, we would strive to promote, to preserve, and to document our rich cultural heritage. And that we were going to use our indigenous language and culture to express ourselves. And that was going to be our own global view. It was a very difficult path to take because we are working against the current, because the industry is reputed to be extremely low budget, very low quality and standard, financed by business people who really didn't care about cinema. So we refused from day one to be funded by any of the business people because we could not see creative control. We want to dictate the creativity, the amount of creativity, and the overall standard of, including our design and everything. And so, on the short term, we didn't look like it made good business sense. But on the long term, we think that we will win, because even now, we can say that Mainframe is perhaps the only film production company in Nigeria that has a body of work, a collection of work from when we started 20 years ago till now. That is, we have become sort of a bridge between the industry. We have experienced all the technology, various technology till now. Our work has been progressive, and it can be studied, and they are indeed being studied, in universities and tertiary, institutions. And we think our work is evolution, but largely today we have managed to collect everything we have done, unlike the time of celluloid chemical, because all the films that were made in Nigeria from 60s till now are completely lost in foreign laboratories. We can never come across most of them again. They are lost. I mean, it's a catastrophe. It's a blow to African creativity that because of the aspect of that technology, we have lost other vast resources. So I think that Mainframe of Pomerero has become more than us. It has become like an institution for the reorientation into cultural heritage.
All right, sir. Would you say that the Nigerian film industry, generally, they call it Nollywood, would you say it is evolving into something of a notable, of worthy note? Would you say it has evolved into a progressive entity, or we're still not there yet?
I think it's dynamic, and I think that we have done very well. I think that the way that the industry has started in private enterprise and sort of made so many ripples all over the world suggests that, yes, we have more than a foundation, and we have the capacity to grow. And it's growing because government, corporate organizations, foreign investors are here. Just like what happened with our football, our soccer, they are, looking out for opportunity to buy into this industry, because there's still a long way to go. Because suddenly, I think that it is a compliment when we are compared with Hollywood, America and India. Certainly we don't have the infrastructures that they have as investment in those countries. But we now know, that we can grow. The country can grow along infrastructure, electricity, broadband internet, and capacity for all those things. So we are still very young, and we still have a long way to go, and we have to be very realistic, and not be carried away from the glamour of the compliments that we are getting. Otherwise, if care is not taken, empty barrels, we just make noise, and there's nothing at the end of the day to show for it. But Nigeria has the capacity to give the world a really great cinema.
All right, this is still the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with the legend in cinematography, in photography, and in storytelling. He's a director, he's a producer. So I have been speaking with the legend, Tunde Kelani himself. TK, thank you very much for this privilege. I want to ask you, you get these accolades while you are alive. A lot of people don't seem to get celebrated while they are alive. How do you feel when people call you and they give you all these accolades for all the jobs that you have done while witnessing it being alive?
No, I pray for that I have good health, because I still have a lot to do. And further, my conscience says I've not done enough. But within the available resources and the help of supporters, Lagos State government, my friends, healers, all those people, I still manage to go on. But the great is yet to come. And hopefully before I die, I have to have perhaps a CK Center for Cinema and Culture somewhere, preferably in Lagos, where I can be resident and where researchers, students of cinema, culturists, people can come and we can have a nice time, we can rub minds, and so on. So I think that I still have a few more to offer because I think I have now the maturity and the experience, to do great work.
All right. In this industry, in this movie industry, we've seen a lot of shoddy production, and with over 4 decades of experience in this industry, how are you able to maintain the standard, your resilience, your tenacity, and then you're able to maintain the standard of quality and production in the movie industry? How are you able to achieve this?
I'm learning all the time and drawing from the superior arts, like literature, poetry, philosophy, traditional theater, music, design, and other things. And the cinema is a very weak art, but it had there's the exciting factor that I could always draw and run to any of those other component arts. So, and the technology also is really exciting, and I'm learning from world cinema, and I'm trying every day, harnessing all this. I'm reading every time, I'm practicing all the time, I'm watching other people's movies all the time, I'm looking at all Nollywood films. I'm sampling at least 20 a month, all in all, to strive, even for me, Tunde Kelani, to become a better filmmaker.
All right, TK, your blockbuster film, Tiolu Anile, that film was a masterpiece. Now, you had three editions of that film, or 3 episodes, let's say, in 3 parts. It came in 3 parts. What inspired the production of that movie? That movie was so
I think that, yes, again, when we started making production, we wanted to take, I said every time I go back, I can go back to any. In this case, I'm using an example of the popularity of Yoruba traveling theater to work with one of its best, Alhaji Karim Adepoju Babawande. So this is somebody they used to. But what I did was to put in a bit more research and just supply some cinematic elements, not to overdo it, just to throw in a bit like in cooking a soup, and it worked. I think the other 2, the part 2 and 3, that we just made for commercial considerations. Otherwise, I think the first one told the story. But even then, anytime we do any part, we make sure, that can stand alone. Anyone of them can stand alone, not particularly because they are in part. So, I think it was the first production, and we've tried to build, along that, perhaps other that tradition. And then to look again into literary adaptations, which I'm passionate about literature, and I've sort of used all the models into storytelling.
All right. And your rich cultural heritage, and interest for literature is what is actually propelling you to do some of this. But some of your movies, why didn't you name them in Yoruba? Why didn't you title them Yoruba real names? Like the Campus Queen, you have the Narrow Path, and then you have the White Handkerchief. Why didn't you give them those Yoruba names?
Well, the movies that are made in English, Thunderbolts, for instance, they derive from a literary source, and I want to maintain continuity, because they are books. And sometimes I want to retain the title of the book so people can watch the movie and go back, to look for the books. In other words, it's like reintroducing literature, the popularity of literature in another form. People don't read anymore. And this is what I wanted to do, to intentionally keep the language of the source material and, if possible, keep the title of the original book, so that it can promote the reading the book and then celebrate the writer also.
Before we talk about your movie, your latest movie, Dazzling Mirage, I want us to expound on the Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners. What is your take on this association? There are several associations coming up, and there seems to be disunity. You are an elder in this industry. What is your take?
No, the traditional association of ANTP. Started way back. They are a cultural institution, and they also taught me a lot. Because I had a long association with them. We worked together and so on. But it's just more that today there's more politics than what it was supposed to serve. It was supposed to protect the interest of the Yoruba audience, because they went from generation to generation, and they carry the audience along with them. So they are the process. Their primary responsibility, just in the original traditional Egungun court, was to entertain the Yoruba nation. They would travel all over, just doing social relevant material, and they were sort of safeguarding the culture also while entertaining them. But I think that over time this has been polluted, especially because of foreign influence and because of technology itself, because they went from stage to television, from television to film to home video. Therefore, it has diluted the process of preparing people to become actors and actresses. Then you have to be total theater. First of all, you have to have a passion for it. You have to be ready to be apprentice. You have to learn drum. You have to learn acting. You have to learn dance. You have to learn composition. You have to learn everything. But today, all that is gone. And I think because of that change, this change and so on, it's affected the association itself, which has become politicized over time, and it's left to, I think it's caused a lot of disunity among its members. The Yorubas are the social group that worked in a hierarchical system where people belong to caucuses or they are under masters. They started with their various groups and then learn their way up, and then they graduate, and then they start their own troop, and so on. I think it's a marvelous system, and it's one of my resources. It's certainly one of my inspiration when I make it. I combine all the techniques, borrow, from American cinema, the traditional traveling theater, other cinemas and so on, and give it my own style.
So ANTP, sir, is there a way forward? What would you suggest should be a way to converge for cohesion to exist? Because Dr. Ashaolu also mentioned one thing. He said ANTP is not Yoruba alone, that it cuts across. It's an indigenous, it's supposed to protect indigenous movie production, not just Yoruba.
Well, I'm not a member of the association. Okay. I could only hope that they can work together. But under the system where they have governors and something, they think they are politicians. I think they should, if possible, remove some of the political tendencies, and they have abandoned what they were supposed to do. They are copying other associations that think that when they form association, they can solicit, for government largesse and things like that. I think they should concentrate more and really come together to think of how they can move the association forward, and they can use the advantage, and they can really come together and forge a road ahead.
This is still the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with Tunde Kelani, the legend himself. Uncle Tunde, thank you for your time. Now, let's talk about Dazzling Mirage. Dazzling Mirage, what's the storyline?
Dazzling Mirage is our latest film project, and it's adapted from a novel of that same title, Dancing Mirage, written by Dr. Yinka Igbokare from the University of Ibadan. And essentially it's a love story, but it again has the theme of sickle cell, which again is important to us. So it is primarily designed to entertain, but again to draw more attention to sickle cell disorder, and people living with the disorder and their families, and again educating people, drawing more attention and information on sickle cell disorder, because Nigeria happens to be the epicenter of sickle cell disorder in the whole world. We have more carriers than any other country, and we feel that we should lend our voice, to working with other groups to effect a change of attitude towards the disorder.
Okay. All right, your advice for people that want to venture into cinematography and movie production, that's one. Then two, what's your message for your fans in diaspora, France, US, and globally? Well,
up to now, our work has remained inaccessible to diaspora, but thank God we're already working on it. We are developing the Opomulero network, which is comprised of mobile app and then heavy web, and the Yoruba content that will be on those platforms will be subtitled in English, French, and Portuguese. So this is a way that we can connect with diaspora, and it's only a matter of time. And luckily again, our work has been licensed and already is being hosted on canopystreaming.com. So now at least we are sure that we are getting there slowly, and that once we have all those networks and access to our work, then we can assure everyone that the best of our films is yet to come, and we will continue to use our rich cultural heritage, to contribute meaningfully to global cinema.
All right, your advice to young, upcoming people that want to venture into this?
Well, I think, first of all, that young people should identify their own passion. They should just identify what they love to do. And then once they create the passion for one day, then they should throw everything they have into it. And they should be ready to invest their time and money, and they should not be in any hurry. They will come with time, and they have a long journey, and they should not be distracted by the glamour or the money. If it's a question of money, then they should not go into it, because it's an opportunity again to learn and to have great experiences in life, and more importantly, this is a great time to be doing it because they have all the technology and the tools to excel, and they should not be distracted by the negative aspects of what the technology will offer, but to use technology in a way to assist their rapid development. And they can't miss it. I think that they are in a good era of knowledge and the internet, and the information they need to do anything in the world is all there for them for free. They have more than we had, so if it took us 40 years to do it, they can do it in 10 years.
All right, I have been speaking with Tunde Kelani, the legend himself, the legend in cinematography, in production, in filmmaking. I have been speaking with him, and he has enlightened us on several issues that you may have been concerned to know about. On a final note, before you leave, sir, before we end this program, I want you to talk about Nollywood, that name, the origin. Do you support the use of that name? What is your feel about Nollywood?
I think it's too late to do anything about it. Just like the name Nigeria as an entity was given Nigeria and its talk, I think Nollywood has talk. And what has happened is that if you look at it, the tendency today is to look at it as if it's something monolithic. It is not. It's a cinema of diversity. It's a cinema of expressions. And it's as colorful as the rainbow. So it depends on which Nollywood you are looking at. If you look at Nigeria as a nation, 400 tribes, more than 400 languages, it's just the same in Nollywood. Nollywood is just a reference to Nigeria's contribution to global cinema.
Wow, we could go on and on. There are still many questions yet unanswered, but I think I'll fix another time with TK to have another expository episode with him. It's been the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. And remember, listeners, that you can download the app for Nollywood Radio France and you can listen anywhere in the world simply by going to the Google Play Store, searching for Nollywood Radio France Show, download, and you are live on all our programs. It's nice having you there listening and staying tuned to all our programs. We love you, and we love you. Please stay tuned until I meet you again on the next exciting episode of the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. My name is Demola Sayolu saying, be good, stay out of trouble, and keep well. Bye. Every time we see the beauty of another day, it is a privilege to thank the Lord for giving us the opportunity to witness our success again. It is another opportunity to wake up and achieve our dreams. The future we talked about yesterday is here today again. It is a privilege to relish and savor every goodness that will come our way. Why not enjoy that moment? Why not enjoy that day and be up and running to do your business? On this note, I welcome everyone again to the exciting episode of the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. I am still your regular host, Demola Sayolu, saying welcome. I'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. On this episode, I have a very notable figure with me. He is a key player in the Nollywood industry. He was declared the winner of the Association of Nigeria Theatre Arts Practitioners, ANTP, on January 30th, 2014 by a federal high court in Ibadan. I have with me Comrade Victor Ashaolu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, US. Good morning, France. Good morning, Nigeria. I am Comrade Dr. Honorable Victor Ashaolu, JP, FPICC, the National President of Association of Nigeria Theatre Arts Practitioners, ANTP. I greet you all.
All right. Morning, sir. It's nice to have you on the Backstage Story Show, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. This program is meant to inform and educate and enlighten people in Africa, in France, in diaspora generally, because we have a global presence. It's to inform and educate them of goings on in Nigeria and in diaspora. It's nice to have you once again, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Comrade, people in diaspora would like to know who exactly you are. Can you give us a brief history about who Comrade Dr. Honorable Victor Ashaolu is?
Well, Victor Ashaolu is a theater practitioner. I studied theater at the University of Ibadan, and I've been in the industry for the past 40 years. I am married with children. I'm a native of Ilesha, Osun State, Nigeria, and I've been producing and staging plays. I've produced my own film, about 3 or 4, and I've been featuring, but although not regularly, in Nigerian movies. And I believe in administration, and that's why I'm presently national president of the association. I've been the chairman of the state, the association, that's Oyo State. When Oyo State and Osun State were together and called them Oyo State then. I was the chairman for about 8 years, and I later became the national secretary general of the association. And today, by the grace of God, I'm heading the association as the head of political and administration. And that's me, Victor Ashaolu.
Wow. So you have a very splendid resume, and a lot of people, I'm not sure we have this info. I think you have it on record on Nollywood Radio France for now. Okay, sir, your role in ANTP. Before we go into your role in ANTP, some of the movies you have actually produced and some that you have acted in, can you give us their names, sir?
Well, I could remember one or two that was very popular, or that were popular, were Nollywood. Nollywood, the meaning in English is who is mad. That is, who is the mad person? Is it the richer people or the less privileged people? Is it the bishop or the worshippers in the church? Is it the theater artist or their viewers? Who is actually the mad people around the world? And when you ask that question yourself, you will imagine who is actually mad. Because the way we behave, the way we do things, we went into research and we realized almost everybody is mad. Because when you wake up in the morning, you start running up and down. You are running after what you don't keep, what you don't have, and you want to get it. Whereas God knows how to give you what you want without even suffering. But because we are full of madness, we'll be chasing shadow, living subjects. So these are what responsible for my thoughts there. And I produced a film then. It was in fact during the time of late Masud Abiola, when he fought for the presidency. He was declared, the election was declared non-void, and then there was crisis in the country. And the man lost his life in the process. So the question now is, who is actually mad? Is it the man himself, with all the money he has? Then he was still pursuing power. Is it the people that are deceiving him? Is it the military then who deceive him to go into the contest and later destine him and all the rest? So that was the title of that film then, Nollywood, Who is Mad? Then I did another one titled the postcode dog, the promiscuous dog, Aquaja, the he-dog. And you know what he-dog means? It chases women about here and there. And then I did another one, Ananla. And so all these are the films I have produced and I have featured in. But why I'm not been featuring regularly in films, I don't like the way we are being marketed. Marketers are not kind to us. The pirates are also there, eating deep into our past. And I just believe I should better concentrate on how to improve the industry, on how to actually improve the marketing strategy, and how to curb the pirates and the piracy in the industry. So this film I have produced, I will feature in. Although I have featured it from other films of other people, but it's not so many. Because I believe working behind the camera and being on the page, on the faces of the camera.
All right, sir. I have been speaking with Comrade Dr. Honorable Victor Ashaud. JP. Comrade, sir, the Nollywood industry in general, you from what you said, you have spent like 40 years in this industry. Would you say that this industry is evolving into an excellent, let's say, an excellent outfit from your experience in the past, in those 40 years? Would you say this industry is evolving into something very good and excellent, or we are still not there yet?
Well, we are only trying. We are yet to be there. We compare our position today in the industry compared with Hollywood and Indian films and all the rest. I think we are yet to be where we're supposed to be. And why? Because the people that are practitioners are not one. They are not talking in one voice. We are not moving in one way. We are not doing things together the way it should be. If you look at the name Nollywood, the Nollywood are being centered by our Igbo friends, Igbo colleagues, and they are giving wrong history about Nigerian film production. Then they will now be telling us Nollywood is the hinting or is the beginner of a film production in Nigeria. These are part of problems we are having. Whereas, before Nollywood come into existence, the Ogun days, the Olabalogun, the Adelov have been producing films, optical films. Just all of a sudden, our friends, our colleagues in the Eastern part came into the industry and they now come up with this name Nollywood. And they are now saying Nollywood film production in Nigeria is just 20 years. It is not true. It is not the fact. But if we are starting this too much again, there is a crisis, and that will set us back. And so based on this, therefore, I will want to say that the industry, because of the infighting with these various associations, with these various practitioners, has not allowed us to grow the way we should grow. The education, the time we should concentrate in educating ourselves, in improving the industry, improving our production, improving our storyline, improving our make-up, all the facets of the production. We are not doing that. Most of us are concentrating on creating crisis where it is not necessary. If you watch today in Nigeria, the industry is where we have the largest associations, more than 35 million associations in this industry. For what? We're supposed to have just one or two. But all of a sudden, if you lose an election in the place, you will see them go out and form another association. So So this has not made things go the way it should go for us. And this is what we are working upon. So for now, we are yet to be there. But we are talking about the production itself. You will agree with me that there is that problem as well. Because the way we should have produced our films is not the way we are producing it. So I think God be with us, things will change to better.
All right, sir. The Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners, sir, why was it established? What are the main objectives of that association, sir?
The association was established sometime in 1976 at the University of Ibadan during the training time of Professor J.A. Adedeji, the then head of the Department of Theatre Arts, when he called some street practitioners. Those are the Zola Jimbos, the Baba Salas, and the Onyade Jobis, the Aisho Peppers, the Kima Adus, and most of them then for a workshop. And from there, they talked to them how to bring themselves together, and then the association was formed. And their aims and objectives then was to at least be working together, having a common goal, common way of doing things, and be friendly, and be pursuing their profession, and negotiating with the government, and see to the way the industry could be improved, and getting their own rights too from the federal government or state or local government. So these have been their objectives, and since then there have been a lot of developmental problems here and there. Ogunde head the association for about 9 years before his demise, and later Adelov took over. All through those periods, the association was not registered with federal government, with the Corporate Commission Affairs. But during the regime of Jima Aliyu as the president and I as the national president, we got the association registered. That was in 1995. And since then, we have been battling with one problem and the other. But the association aims and objectives still remain how it is. And we believe it can be improving. And God be with us, with me, at the end of affairs now. I believe with the cooperation of everybody and support of the government, we will move the association progressively forward.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. As a honorable, as a doctor, and as a comrade, why are you not in politics? Why are you in the?
I will tell you, I'm fully in politics. I don't deny that fact. I am in politics.
Okay, sir.
I have always been in politics. I've been a councillor in Ibadan. I've been a supervisory councillor. I have been a supervisory councillor also here in Osun. And presently, the only thing I've not been contesting for much of opposition, but we have been supporting people to get into position. And presently, I'm a state officer in one of the political organizations in Nigeria, the largest political organization in the whole world, and the largest, the most popular party in Nigeria, People's Democratic Party, PDP. I'm a member, I can't deny that. The only thing is that I separate politics from professionalism. My profession as a theater artist believe is that we are not political, we are not religious, we are not racist organization. So I don't play politics with the association. And by our profession too, we can work for, we are give any government in power. So I have been educating my members not to politicize the association, because politics is a self-thinking. It's your own self-idea. You may decide to be there, you may decide to quit. But profession, you can't quit your profession. So you don't even pension in the theater industry. It's like lawyers, or medical doctors. We are like those people. So we don't pension from our job. And it's a self-organized profession. So, but if you talk of Victor Ashaolu, I'm a politician. I'm one of the leaders of the PDP in Ilesha East, in Osun State, and in Nigeria generally.
Okay, sir. The burden of the politics in Nigeria seems to be quite heavy. How are you able to merge? How are you able to marry politics and
the two?
The two.
Well, I see a very thin line within politics and theater profession. Very thin line, because theater is cumbersome. Yes, politics is also very, very strenuous, very, very demanding. But I've been thanking God for giving me the strength to cope. And this has been from my youth. I've always been working. And that has been helping me. When I was working in the university, I was a unionist. I was in NASU, non-academic staff union. I was the national chairman, national president of University Trade Group. So I have been the University of Ibadan branch chairman before I became the national chairman for all the universities workers in this country. So I have been very busy in doing one politics or the other. Either as a full-time politician, either as a unionist, either as a theater artist. And the politics in the theater industry itself is even more than the theater outside the industry. So God has been helping me to cope, and I've been faithful to God.
We should just generally say that life entirely itself is a politics, because there's going to be politics at home too, sir.
Everybody is a political animal. Even in your house, you play politics because you are the president of the house. Your wife is the deputy president, is the vice president. Your children, if you have 4 or 5 children will deal with their mother, one will deal with you, and they will play politics with you in the house. So politics is everywhere. So Nigeria, it's like what Shakespeare said, that the world itself is a stage where every human beings are performers. Have you? So whatever we do at one time, we are only acting. At one time and the other, we are acting.
All right.
And when you bow out of stage, then you are off. That is the end of cutting. We have been thanking God for everything.
All right. You are still tuned to the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with Dr. Comrade Honorable Victor Ashaolu, the President of the Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners. I'll be right back after this short break.
Àṣà Yorùbá lẹ́wà púpọ̀. Àṣà bàbá wa ni. Ọmọ Oòduà bá jí lówùúrọ̀. Ìyẹn ní bẹ́ẹ̀ àti ìdílé. Ọkùnrin á dọ̀bálẹ̀ kí bàbá pẹ̀lú yeye. Àtẹ̀ní tó jù ní lọ. Bó bá ti jọ obìnrin ni. Àfikún lẹ́bẹ̀ẹ́. àṣà tó dára tó rẹwà tó kò fi Ọlọ́run mọ́.
Èmi dúpẹ́ bàbá tó kà mí mọ́ wọn.
Àṣà tó dára tó rẹwà tó kò fi Olúwa mọ́.
Èmi dúpẹ́ bàbá tó kà mí mọ́ wọn.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Olúwa ló sọ pé.
Ló sọ pé.
Àní ọ̀rọ̀ Olúwa ló sọ pé.
Ló sọ pé.
Ò bá ń bọ̀wọ̀ fún bàbá pẹ̀lú màmá á jẹ́ni tó ju ẹ lọ láyé.
Ọjọ́ ayé rẹ̀ kò lè dá.
Àní bọ̀wọ̀ fún bàbá àti màmá ẹ á jẹ́ni tó ju ẹ lọ.
Ọjọ́ ayé rẹ̀ kò lè dá.
Nínú gbogbo ẹ̀yà, nínú gbogbo àṣà, nínú gbogbo ẹ̀yà, nínú gbogbo àṣà, àṣà Yorùbá ló ń sọ fún wa pé ká dọ̀bálẹ̀ fàgbà.
Ọjọ́ ayé wa kò lè pẹ́.
Ẹni bá létí kò gbọ́ kó gbóhùn tẹ́mi sọ.
Ọjọ́ ayé rẹ̀ kò lè dá.
Yes, welcome back. Comrades, the association itself. Now, talking about piracy, let's talk a bit about piracy. Some school of thought believe that the production of movies on a weekly basis should be like curbed, or maybe should be controlled to limit the excesses of pirates in this industry. Would you agree to that, sir?
I don't think that should be a major problem. No, I subscribe to that. That too many production or releasing of film could not be very good for the industry. But that is not the reason why piracy is everywhere. The reason is the Nigerian system itself. We are too corrupt. And this is a country where you encourage evildoers. Pirates, I don't know why they believe they should center around cheating people. But it is the government that could help us out of this. It's like when Gambia came on board. Blessed memory, Mrs. Dollar Akwili. And he became head of NAFDAC. He knew what she did in that industry. Incompetent fake drugs. Pirate is like fake production of films, or music, or books. So what I think government should do is to put the right peg on the in the right hole. Put the right people at the end of affairs of the industry, especially the agencies that are controlling the industry, like Nigeria Census Board, Nigeria Copyright Commission, Nigeria Film Corporation, etc. Put the right people that should do the job. Put one or two professionals there. I remember when myself and Ube was member of Nigeria Copyright Commission Board. Myself and Egmont Ube. We knew what we did when we were in Copyright Commission Board. For how many years now? There is no even board for Copyright Commission. No board. It's the bureaucrats that are there. And those that are founder of that place, who has their aims and objections of copying pirates. The purpose of forming copyright commission in Nigeria was to combat pirates. But the government has been transferring a lot of people into that organization that knows nothing, next to nothing about pirates. And they are there, just taking salary. They have been bringing people from abroad to come and help the place. Those who doesn't know our problem in this country. They have been bringing some people who are agents of these pirates into those industries and into those organizations. It is now we are having one woman in census board who knows where the shoe pinches. But there is little she could do as well without cooperation of Copyright Commission, Nigerian Film Corporation, and all the rest. So I think pirates should be combated by the federal government. It's not a thing we can do on our own. It's one aspect. Another aspect is that the stakeholders in the industry should forget all these crises and fighting. They should come together and face these pirates collectively. Join hands with federal government agencies and find a lasting solution. If we can stop them completely, at least we should reduce them to minimum level. But for now, everybody is on his own. The copyright is going on his own way. At times they don't even consult they don't even consult the people in the industry doing for what they are doing. The census board is on its own way, not doing much with the Copyright Commission. The Nigerian Film Corporation, somebody has just been put there now as the head of that place. We cannot even tell his history about film production in Nigeria. He's not the head. They just bring the man from just nowhere and put him there as the head of Nigerian Film Corporation. Well, those are the problems we are having about pirates. When those who knows about where the shoe pinches are not being placed in charge, or the people there are not working with the people who are stakeholders in the industry, and where do we go from there? And the pirates are hitting very deep into the facade of everybody. Some people have even quit the profession. They have quit the industry just because of this pirate thing. And some of the marketers are also not helping matters. Some of them are even pirates. These are the problems we are having. Dishonest, especially disorganized people not doing the right thing the way it should be done. These are the problems we are having, but we will keep praying to God. We'll be doing our best. I don't know when last did all these agencies call us together to think about how to do this or how to stop pirates and pirating our work. So for the releasing film, our people believe, well, the more you release film, maybe you will be making 1 or 2 3 naira. Whereas, if we can come together, I believe we should control the controlling of the production releases should be from the stakeholders. And we are trying to go into that. The moment I settle down, because like you said, I just got judgment January this year. I just finished my quadrennial delegate conference, where we now line all the positions in the association. Very soon we will now move into action. We face all these things you are talking about. Try to control the production, support of our members, try to work with federal government agencies. We have to move closer to them. Then the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, the Ministry of Information, we have a lot to do with them. We should get closer to them, they should also get closer to us. Because film industry is like a gold mine, for God's sake. We have some countries who rely on film production on their economy. So I believe if we tackle the pirate headlong, we could get some results.
All right, this is still the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with Comrade Dr. Honorable Victor Ashaolu, the president, the national president of the Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners. Thank you, Doctor, for your time, sir.
Well, thank you, too.
All right. The next question is all about the present imbroglio and rancor within ANTP. First, I would like to ask you, what are the elders in the association, those that have been there for long, the veterans, what have they done to curb this crisis? That's one. Then two, some school of thought believe that probably the leadership is biased in its approach to members. What is causing the division? What have the elders done to curb this, the rancor and the dissociation in the association?
Thank you very much. You see, the first thing is that are the youth getting any respect for the elders? This is a very big question. You see, the youth are not listening to the elders. And this has been very long. The regime, the one or two past regimes, have not been giving due respect to the elders. They always believe in elders when they are in their support, when they are doing their wrong things, and they want the elders to say, well, what they are doing is right or are right. It is then they believe in elders. The moment an elder just believes, this is what you are doing is not the best way, they will now say, oh, it's a bad elder. So, for example, during the prolonged health crisis within us, which I was very much involved, because the elders were supporting them, those people there who are doing mostly the wrong things, who have actually bastardized the industry, they believe the elders were good. But the moment some of the elders now say, look, let's support this man who has been making wounds and cries for changing the association for better. They now turn against the elders again to say, oh, those elders are bad. All I just believe is, one of the Yoruba says, whoever wants to go and bury his senior brother naked, he should not forget to carry his younger brother along. Because whatever we do, we shall live. So, if care is not taken, the younger one will not also respect those who are not respecting the elders now. And for the elders, we still have one or two of them who are not doing things rightly. But what do? We have to submit for them, since they are the elders. You can only advise. The Bible told us that don't blame elders, just advise them. So I just believe personally, I'm a special most senior evangelist, and so I believe in the words of God. And He said, "You children, respect your father, and you father love your children." So if we exchange all this the way the scripture has put it, we will have been having very less problems. But because of greed, selfishness, that has enveloped most of them, it doesn't let them see light clearly. But that is a matter God will resolve. On the issue of being biased to members, change is a very difficult thing to achieve. When I came on board, I have my vision. I have my mission. And my vision is how to change the whole orientation in the industry. It's how to see how we can bring younger ones on board. We are talking of stars. If you watch 10 films today of Nigerian films, you will virtually be seeing one face of people in different fields. I think this has to be changed. we should use the already popular stars to promote new up-and-coming star artists and to let them become stars. We should not be domineering about production. So some of them are seeing this, and they are finding it very, very difficult to comply with. So definitely there is the bringing forth. Then there are some people by their birth, the way their family or their upbringing is they are from a family of destroyers who destroy things. They don't build. They destroy anything that is good that somebody is building. Then there are some people who are born from a family of building things, changing things to good. So when those two people are in a mixed organization, you don't expect a straightforwardness. There is the crisis, who can cry. But it now depends on the leadership who is there to determine what he wants and stand by it. So if anybody is now saying, is it the present administration they are saying is biased to members or not listening to members, or the former administration? This has to be clear. If it is my own administration, I have not even started. I've only been putting structural arrangements on grants, which I have just finished on 11th of July, when we did our quadrennial delegate conference. And now that we are having proper elected executive in place, then we will now start to do some work, arrangements, both politically, administratively, and otherwise. And if anybody is complaining, you should just be patient. Let's see what we have to stop for them. But I believe we have not been done badly.
Yeah, this is still the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with Comrade Dr. He's also a senior evangelist. From what he said, is Comrade Dr. Victor Ashaolu. He has been speaking with me on the association about the general view of people, and he has also made comments about change, that people have not been able to adapt to change. So the crisis is brewing because some people they feel threatened that their career may not may be jeopardized or something. But it's not. You are not jeopardizing their career. You are trying to improve the association. Now, let me ask you one question, sir. This Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners, I need you to clear the air. Is it representing the Yoruba sector of the Nigerian movie industry alone, or is it representing both the Yoruba sector and the English movie industry, sir?
Like we call it, we are not representing the only Yoruba sector. We are representing all indigenous sectors and including all language sectors, of which English is one of them. When you look at our constitution, the constitution is very, very clear, but we said the profession of all indigenous theater practitioners. Okay, sir. It's not Yoruba indigenous theater practitioners. It's all indigenous. So what we are saying is all traditional organizations, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, you are Ibibio, you are whatever. If you are a theater practitioner, you are qualified to be member of ANTP. And if you are doing English production, you are also qualified, because English is just one language. So English is not our language in Nigeria. It's a borrowed language. So this is the general language that is common. Then it's also a language. Then we have the code-speaking language, that is the broken. Pidgin English is part of it. So we are not representing only Yoruba indigenous. We are representing all indigenous theater practitioners and all languages practitioners. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not only for Yoruba theater artists. All right, sir. And for example, as I'm talking with you, we've got our branches. Even during this period, we established our branch in Kogi. We have our branches in Kaduna. We have in Delta. We also have in Edo. So you can now see it's not only for Yoruba. The only thing, it started from the Yoruba land.
Okay.
And our forefathers.
All right, sir.
The Ogunde, the Onyade Dobis, the Ola the First, and the Adelov. So people like that, Kima News, Lere Paimas, and most of them. But by our constitution, we are all for all indigenous professionals, data professionals.
Okay, sir. All right, sir. Thank you for coming on this show. Thank you for your time. Also, sir, the court injunction you had in January, Prince Jide Kosoko mentioned in some media outfits that there is a counter court injunction stopping you from acting as the president. What would you like to say about that, sir?
Maybe he's talking fallacy. Let him show what court injunction. There's no injunction anywhere. What we have gotten last was a judgment, not an injunction. A judgment, a declaration judgment, declaring him as the president of the association. And since then, there have never been any judgment or any ruling anywhere. What they should do is that they have applied to court of appeal. They are appealing over the judgment. And there has never been any statement from the court of appeal. The case has not even been listed. And we have not even been served with any document, but we knew he had appealed. And appeal does not stop a judgment. They apply for what they call stay of execution of judgment. Or maybe they don't know what they are applying for. Because the declarative judgment cannot be stayed. That's the truth, I believe. I'm not a lawyer. But my lawyer told me I should go ahead. And it was when you file a paper in court and the paper has not been determined or discussed, then how do you say you get? Let him show you the injunction.
Okay.
Does not allow for vacuum. Law does not allow for vacuum.
Yeah.
So there's no judgment that could create vacuum. I have a judgment that puts me as the president of ANTP and stop him from further parading himself as the president of ANTP. He has been parading himself illegally since 2010 up to on the 30th of January 2014. He has even been collecting money, which we will collect back from him anytime from now. So the issue is that he is just deceiving. If he's saying that, he's just deceiving himself. And if he has such judgment, please let him publish it in the paper. So I don't have any such judgment or restriction or thought order. No, nothing like that. What we are having as at last time, as we are talking, is a judgment.
Okay.
Declaration judgment, declaring him as the president of ANTP, no more, no less.
Okay. All right, sir. I have been speaking with comrades Dr. Victor Ashaolu, the National President of the Association of the Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioner, ANTP. And it's nice to have you, sir. I really appreciate your time. Now, let's talk about your relationship, your personal relationship with Prince Jide Kosoko. You had a cordial relationship before the crisis brewed in ANTP. What is it, this crisis that is separating both of you?
We are still very, very cordial. We speak to ourselves, we phone, we talk, we exchange greetings anywhere we see, and there has never been anything. The fight is not a personal fight. I told them immediately after the judgment that there is no loser, rather there is no winner. We are all winners. We've taken a constitution to court for interpretation, and God has interpreted it to us. Our court has interpreted it for us. It's not that Jide Kosoko took my wife or took my property. We are fighting for the progress. Both sides, I believe, are fighting the way we saw it or still see it. That we believe we are fighting for the progress of the association. We are not fighting for individual person. I'm not fighting for myself. I will leave the stage one day. Then we also leave. We have left the administration of association for now. Somebody has been there before us, and we will also leave the place sometime. So it's not a personal fight. We are very, very cordial. To me, and I think Jide is very, because he used to call me on phone. We used to exchange greetings, we used to exchange talks, we used to exchange ideas. So I don't believe we are having any personal animosity. No. I've never done anything to me personally that will make me to say I'm having a personal fight with him. And I don't think he has that mind as well.
All right.
So that's the position.
Okay, sir. There was a time you reported a threat on your life. And there was a time you reported a threat on your life.
Yeah.
What caused that, sir?
Followers in politics are always the problems you are having. Even when gladiators, the political setup are eating together, drinking together, doing everything together. Your followers will be fighting themselves on the street. They'll be recrossing, talking evil about the leaders, planning evil. So as at that time, I don't think it's DJ Kotoko personally that was planning to attack or try to attack me. But since those followers are faithless, we talk about the people that are leading them. And that is why some of us that are leaders should always be educating our followers to please take the caution of what they are saying or what they are doing. Because as far as I am concerned, anybody that is misbehaving should be checked. So if you check your followers, they will not be planning evil against your opponent. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay, sir. All right, sir. Thank you for joining us on the Backstage Story Show, sir. It's nice to have you here. Now, I also want to know what ANTP is doing. When I was growing up, I've gone to watch the likes of Agbodorogun on stage. I've gone to watch Baba Salah while performing. What is ANTP going to do to bring back these stage plays, at least so that the viewers will get closer to the actors in the movies?
This is part of my program. In my program, I believe any river that forgets its source is surely dry. Stage is our source in the industry, but some of the past administration have used film industry or film production to touch stage. But very, very soon we shall be starting a stage production. And which will start from local government, to state, and to national. We will start it by introducing competition and bringing those stars on stage as well. Bringing the non-stars, the up-and-coming artists on stage. Doing stage production for our local government chairmen, executives. Doing it for the state government, state executives. Doing it in the cinema halls and bringing it to even Abuja. That is our national headquarters, produced for the president and all the rest. So we are going to start serious work on that. I believe we should return stage in Nigeria.
Okay. All right, sir. What is your association trying to do to stop wishy-washy production? That's a major issue, because we see a lot of film production. The continuity, the scenes. There are so many errors. What's the association trying to do to curb or to reduce the number of producers? Is there any check and balance to anybody calling themselves producers in this industry?
Definitely, we are going to do something very serious about that. We will set up production committees that will be screening, and we will set up preview committees that will be reviewing anything you have produced. We bring market women into those such committees, bring school children, we bring higher institution students, we bring security agents, we bring a lot of people into those such committees, so that before any film comes out, we review it and get any film that scores less than 50% will not be allowed to be released.
Okay, sir.
And you look at the concept, you look at technicalities, you look at so many areas. Look at the technicalities, costume, makeup, camera work, and everything. We are going to do a lot of things. We have all those in archives, but like I told you, the crisis that has been erupted in the association has been affecting all aspects of the industry. The unfortunate thing is not only in the Yoruba sector or in the indigenous film sector. This crisis is also in other associations and organizations. But the moment the stakeholders in the industry could get their asses right, and they could be able to concentrate on production, and the way the production is been coming out, instead of fighting one another on pages of newspaper, and instead of concentrating to do something better, advise one another, looking at each other's script perfectly and perfecting what is ever wrong. Even the elders should be made some consultants, those elders that have been long in the industry and are getting old, they should be made consultants to some of the productions, some of the scripts and all the rest. So we are going to do some serious work, and that's why I told you. By the time you want to do all this we are talking about, there will be hues and cries. But when you now say, oh no, you are stopping some productions, film that will be releasing per month should be not be more than 5 or 6. You know, people, you will have stepped some toes, and they will start to make noise. They will not say the truth to people. They will just be saying, that president is a thief. They will be looking for one fault or the other. But that does not bother me. I have a vision, I have a mission, and we need to be focused. I will always be seeing all that as a side attraction, and I will not allow any diversion of my vision. So that's the position. We will work very hard on all those areas.
All right, sir. But sir, there is a Films and Video Censors Board. Will your approach to streamlining production not counter the work of, because
look, what Film Censors Board are supposed to be working or doing is not what they are doing for now.
Okay.
Say for example, they have to watch the content of film. How does it affect the nation politics? How does it affect the culture of this country? How does it affect the administration of this country? You know, theater is to criticize.
Yeah.
They don't allow critics now. They just want something one way. So I don't believe what they are doing is the best. But we will talk with them. We will sit down, talk together, look at their concept very, very well. Wherever there is need to restructure it, we talk to government. We need to go to the House of Reps, House of Senate, to look into the aspect of all those things. We will not stop until we get to where we're supposed to get. Because they will even tell you not to show certain films because certain artists are not there. Or they will tell you because what you have done is against the government. And all this and that. Why they are allowing naked people on television? Bad education to the children. They still pass such film from Censors Board. Because there's no film that's supposed to get out to the public without being censored. Then they are putting so much money. So I want to appreciate the DG, who reduced the censors from 60,200 to now 25,200 as requested by me. Because when money is too much on censorship, and virtually we are not getting anything from the government to support the industry. It is now that the president of this country is putting some money into the industry. And we are thanking him for that. I am personally thanking him. Even though the money has not been circulated, it has been wrongly handled by the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Okojo Iweala sat on some of our money. giving it to some people wrongly. But we will look at that at appropriate time. But at least the government, the Jonathan government has done something that at least he has looked at our side to say, okay, give this. The only thing is the language they are using, give to Nollywood, give to Nollywood. I don't understand. Give money to the film and the theater industry. Nollywood is not a registered organization by name. It's just a name. It's a nickname. But all I know is that at least the so-called Nollywood, by understanding of Nigerians today, are the artists. Whichever way it has been put. So, either you wear a trouser or you put a knicker, you're still wearing something. So we thank God for ministering into the president's mind to remember us. And like Oliver Twist, we will still be asking for more, and we will appeal to the minister to let our money be given to us, not to be sharing it for us, not to be telling us how to use our money. They start on our money now and say they are sending some people to training school. How do you know my association want to go to training school without having an headquarters, no office? If you give us our own money, that is the ANTP's share of the money, we can decide to go and build a very big data house in Abuja or in Lagos. We can have some equipment which will be giving us the technicality that we needed for our production. But instead of siphoning the money through giving it to even at times a registered member of an organization, those who are their friends or their family or their relatives. But God will help us, and we are thinking and looking at all that as well.
All right, but some school of thought believe that the industry itself is capable enough to generate revenue and support and depend less on government. Do you believe in that, sir?
No. Look, let me tell you. When you are sharing cake of the country, you don't want to tell me doctors cannot raise money for themselves, or the lawyer cannot, or the nurses cannot, or the surveyors cannot, or the architects cannot raise money for their organization. But they still give them for their subvention annually. They are even giving money to politicians who are reaping the fruit of this country. I think our own profession should first of all be respected, because we propagate the culture of this country. We translate what the government are supposed to be doing or what they are doing to diasporas. Our views are everywhere. If we talk evil about the country, so with other countries we believe. So they should go, first of all, take care of us. And we are talented people. You can't just say I'm a theater artist if you are not a talented one. You may want to learn it in school, you may not even understand it. Because we are mad people. Our blood are different to those other people. But you don't want a man to become a madman within 2-3 seconds, or you want him to become a power tapper, or you want somebody who has never been to the law school, even to the law for 1 day or 2 days, to be a lawyer in the courtroom or a judge. Is that a normal thing? We are very, very abnormal people, and they should take care of us. As they are taking care of what do we call them now? The disabled. So they should take care of us, because we think for the country, we think for our society. We mirror the society through our production. And that's why I'm not happy whenever we are having disagreements within ourselves, because we are supposed to be the glass, the mirror for the society to watch. Whenever we are disagreeing and we go to pieces of newspaper, it doesn't go well with me. And that's why some press guys will call me and say, we hear about your association, and what do we have to say? We tell them, our association matter is not for pages of newspaper. Whoever is having quarrel with the association should come to the association and let's discuss it. Because that is not where we join the association. Because I think we want to appeal to government to look at us very well and see whatever they can do to better our lot.
All right. Thank you. I have been speaking with Comrade Dr. Victor Shaolu JP, the ANTP President, Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioner in Nigeria. Doctor, thank you so much for coming on this show. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your it's a privilege and it's a honor. But Doctor, one other thing is this: what you're trying to say now is that because of government involvement in ANTP or in the Nollywood industry in general, your role as watchdogs, because you mirror the society. Your role as watchdog is being pegged by the censors board because they don't streamline those films. Right? The ones that criticize the government, they won't allow it to show, but the ones that show the vices in the society, they will allow it to fly. It doesn't mean that the censors board...
That's exactly what is happening, because if anybody is complaining about production now, especially the abnormal aspect of it, the nudity about it, the bad aspect of it. Yes, the film have gone through the censors board. And you will never see any film that will tell you, oh, what government A is doing is good. That is, or what government B is doing is bad. They have been fighting in the house, which is not a...
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, are you still there, sir?
Oh, okay. They have been fighting in the house, which the theater could have mirror out, educate them why they should not be fighting in the house. Are they fighting over our money? Are they fighting over what? There have been click crossing of parties. Some people get into the house there with one party. Just because of money, they will cross carpet. And people will just be laughing. Is that the best way to run the government? Is that the best way for an honorable man, somebody they call an honorable man, to be doing something that is dishonored? And you will not allow a theater artist to say something about that and educate the public. So when they are going to elect or select another people, they will know the type of people they are to elect. It's part of it. Theater educates the society, mirror the society, propagate the good thing, discourage the bad thing, and all the rest. But are they watching that in censors board today?
You are still tuned to the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I have been speaking with Comrade Victor Ashaolu. He is the national president of the association in Nigeria. Comrade, thank you for coming on the program. What message would you like to give to the younger generation that want to go into theater practitioning?
Well, my advice to them is to first of all have the love for the job. Money should not be their first thought, because those of us in the industry, when we came on board, we were not thinking of money. We are thinking of popularity. We are thinking of what we can contribute to the society before getting what society will do for us. But today, everybody is running after money. That is why you are seeing a lot of junks in the production today. So I want to advise them to do their research very well, work into their drawing table, come out with the best, and let's have the best for the country.
All right. And
I want to advise our viewers to please be patient with us and give us the positive critics whenever it is necessary. We are not against being criticized. Nobody is perfect. Even if God is very close to us, that we can see Him today, we will still be finding fault in what God has been doing. Some people will have even attacked Him. But we thank God that He knows this, and he stay far, far, far away from us. So what I'm saying in the event is that people should just try to accommodate one another, be patient with one another, and be sincere and honest to some extent. Nobody is a saint, and we should understand that. That is my advice.
I've been speaking with Comrade Dr. Victor Ashaolu. I really appreciate your time, sir. You have explored virtually every aspect of the industry, and I appreciate you for giving us this time on Nollywood Radio France to really inform and educate your listeners and viewers in diaspora. Thank you so much, sir. Is there any final word you want to give your fans and viewers all over the world? Is there any other word you want to give them? You want to give them any farewell message?
No, I just want to thank them for loving us. Okay. I want to thank them for loving me. I want to thank them for being patient with me and patient with the industry. God will continue to be with every one of us. They should please keep it up. And wherever they think they can help us, they should please come on board, because we need a lot of help. We need a lot of things to improve the industry. We need their assistance. We need their cooperation. Whenever they hear anything not palatable about us, they should please get in touch with us. We are ready for criticism, positive one, and I am ready to improve on whatever I'm doing. And God bless everybody. God bless France. God bless Nigeria. God bless Federal Government, Republic of Nigeria. God bless Association of Nigerian Theatre Practitioners. God bless you too. Thank you very much.
All right, this is still the Backstage Story Show, and I have been speaking with Comrade Dr. Victor Ashaolu, the National President of the Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners. And this is the Backstage Story Show. And remember, listeners, that you can download the Nollywood Radio France on your device, on your mobile device, anywhere in the world. You can listen to us live by going to the Google Play Store, search for Nollywood Radio France Show, download the app, and you are live and direct with us in any part of the world. This is still the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. My name is Demola Sanolu. And remember, savor every moment. Every moment counts, and you are good to go. God is there to give you every opportunity you have for each day. Savor it, maximize it, achieve your dreams. You have the great potential. Thank you, and until I meet you again on the next exciting episode of the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. This is Demola Sanolu saying, have a very lovely day. Bye.
Welcome to Nollywood Radio France. I'm your host, Cyprian Joseph. This audio file has been brought to you by our partner Backstage Story in Lagos, Nigeria. Please stay with us.
Oh yes, yeah. I am Prince Ambassador Yemi Rawo JP, popularly known as Ataishi. I am a broadcaster that you normally listen to on Radio Lagos Eco FM. I'm also on Faji FM. So keep listening to Nollywood Radio France and Backstage Story. It is good. It's the best. Yeah. I just want to tell you that broadcasting plays a vital role in everything, in every ramification, especially in Nollywood. You see, not only Nollywood, everything that you do, you need broadcasting. You need broadcasting to showcase whatever you want to do. Most especially, as in Nollywood, everything, what they do is about picture. So, picture needs television. That is a visual broadcasting. So, therefore, Nollywood needs broadcasting. And it is we that we're going to talk about them, hype them, say good about them. We bring them to limelight. So if you say you are an actress or you are an actor, you're a producer, you do a film, for God's sake, if you don't showcase it on TV, how is it going to be known? If we don't play your music, for musicians, you hip hop, you maybe local musician, if we don't play your music on radio, nobody's going to know you, for God's sake. Therefore, broadcasting play a vital role in Nollywood. So, but we're going to work together. We're going to work together. We are friends. As I am a broadcaster, I have friends in Nollywood. Most of them, we are friends. We keep helping each other. So that's it. So, like I've told you, keep listening to Nollywood Radio France and Backstage Story. I still remain my humble self, Prince Ambassador Yemi Rawo JP, popularly known as Atayeshi. Peace out. Yeah, I'm alright.
Nàìjíríà o bàbá àwa lọ́rọ̀ láti bẹ̀ sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ajé Nàìjíríà yìí o ọmọdé lọ́rọ̀ láti bẹ̀ sọ bàbá mímọ́. Bàbá Jésù dáríjì wá ẹ̀mí mímọ́ a ò lè dá sí o. Bàbá Jésù dáríjì wá ẹ̀mí mímọ́ a ò lè dá sí o. Bàbá Jésù dáríjì wá ẹ̀mí mímọ́. Ọlọ́run olùgbàlà wa ìwọ ṣáà ló ti yọ àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì kúrò lóko ẹrú wò ó bí àwọn ògo wẹrẹ wọ̀nyí ti ké fún onírúurú ohun ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn Ọlọ́run wò ó bí iná fìtílà orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí ṣe ń jó rẹ́súrẹ́sú fún ọ̀dà òróró tí òróró yìí sì ń ṣọ̀dà níbi ìsùn pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ògo wẹrẹ wọ̀nyí ké nítorí bí wọ́n ti ń wo àwọn òbí wọn ti ń fi òógùn pẹ̀lú omijé lójú fúrúgbìn Ọlọ́run ìgbà wo ni àsìkò fífi ayọ̀ká yóò dé. Bàbá mímọ́ bàbá Jésù dáríjì wá ẹ̀mí mímọ́ Jésù Kristi olùgbàlà a ò lè dá sí o. Tí ìbànújẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbanú oko wọn gbọ̀ngàn. Olùtùnú ó wá tù wá nínú. Ìgbà tó gun ayé jẹ́ tó hàn lẹ́ mọ́ wọn bàbá. Olùṣègùn ó wá ṣẹ́gun. Bàbá. Iyọ̀ àti pẹ́tò. Àwọ̀ àti pèyọ́tò. Ojú wo wá o, ìlú Nàìjíríà. Ojú wo wá o. Ní tí àjọ nìyà yìí náà ló ti pọ̀ wọ́n ṣe wọn ò rọ́nà àbáyọ ṣé bí wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ kó bá pẹ̀lẹ́ alẹ́ mi ayọ̀ ń bọ̀ lówùrọ̀ nígbà wo gan-an lẹ́rìí fẹ́ rọ́pò ẹ̀kún wa ní Nàìjíríà Olúwa bójú wọlé fún wa agara ń dá ní Olúwa. Ìlú Nàìjíríà ojú wa Olúwa. ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o ìyànjú lẹ́ẹ̀dá ń gbà.
Hi guys, my name is Richard Dominic and I'm on Nollywood Radio France. Keep listening.
You're listening to Nollywood Radio France today. I have the privilege today to talk to Rita Dominic, the world star. Rita Dominic, welcome to our show, NollywoodRadio.com.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, you don't need to introduce yourself. We don't need that introduction. Everybody knows you around the world. Yeah, let's start first of all with what the message you have for your fans around the world.
Basically, I love them, you know, and without them, without God and them, there won't be any Rita Dominic, you know. So I'm so appreciative of them, and I keep trying to improve and better my craft as an actor and a filmmaker. I've started producing my films now, so what I do is try to put out work out there that my fans, the audience, can enjoy. So yeah.
Now, before coming to this festival, Nollywood Week Paris Festival, I read your biography that you come from a family, your father a doctor and your mom a nurse. But how, and again you study theater arts.
Yes.
So how has been the journey being an actress?
It's been great. I never had any. My parents never had any reservations. They encouraged me. I got all the support I needed from when I was a kid, because I've been acting since I was maybe like 5.
Yes.
So, and I had all the support. My parents did not. They weren't against me, you know, pursuing the arts, you know. So it just helped me nurture it, and I went on to study theater arts in University of Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So it's been great so far. I mean, it's great doing what you love to do, you know. So I'll say, and getting the support from your family. So I'll say in that area, I've been blessed, you know, getting the support from my family. Even though my parents, well, they're late now. They were both medical people, but getting the support from them, that encourages you, you know, to go ahead and pursue the career, your chosen career. So it's been great so far. Even though, I mean, working in Nollywood has had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's nothing in life that's not challenging.
Yeah.
But those challenges are what will even make you, you know, how do you say, like, you take the challenge, exactly, and it makes you stronger, and it makes you go and do that thing and do it, basically. Yeah.
Now, we're really very proud of you, and what I want to say is, let me bring you straight. I don't want to take much of your time because a lot of people are waiting for you. The movie now we've just watched, it was produced by you, and that's The Meeting.
Yes.
Such a wonderful movie, and people were laughing. Now, the role you played was just a very wicked lady.
Is she wicked? She's just a normal woman, a receptionist who has worked for the government for about 30 years. You know, you see, that's all she knows. That's her livelihood. Working as a secretary is a sort of means to an end, because you can see where she's selling different things in the office. She has different businesses going on, and that character is a character a lot of us can relate to, be it a headmistress, a principal, a teacher, an aunt. You know, as a character that is relatable to a lot of Africans. You know, so we just had to tell, like, what we try to do is tell a story and portray what happens in a society, and I'm happy we were able to do that. You know, yeah.
It's not only an African or Nigerian thing. It's still in France. We call them les petits chefs. You have to,
there you go.
Yeah, you have to respect them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long did it take you to put that movie together? The cast was just wonderful, and the crew.
I took from inception about a year.
Okay, a year.
Yeah, about a year.
Right.
Yes.
Now, my last question will be on the Nollywood Week Festival. What do you think about this festival that is coming up?
I mean, you see, this is my first time here, and for me, any festival that helps promote the African cinema is welcome. I mean, we have to push our product out there. You know, you heard what that guy said today in the distribution class when he was saying something about he got so into Nollywood films because, you know, he saw characters that he could relate to from back home, and it encouraged him to go ahead to work, you know, in the movie industry. You know, I mean, those are the kind of stories we want to hear. And if we can do more of these platforms to encourage more filmmakers from Africa and project, how do you say? What's the word? Sorry, English is not my father's language.
To take it to the next level.
To take it to the next level.
Yes,
and, you know, promote African cinema is very much welcome, you know. And then we've been here. I've met a lot of other filmmakers from here. Yes. I'm meeting you for the first time.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
You know, so it's a great place. It's a great opportunities. It's great. I'm happy with what they're doing.
Hello, listeners in France, in Nigeria, in diaspora. I am your regular host on the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France, and I'm here, bubbling and alive and well. Please stay tuned and don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this time out.
I'm the big M, hype on your TV, shown on the big screen. I'm the teaser, chill in the cooler, kept in the freezer. I'm the double clef, treble and the bass clef. Can you feel me? I'm the minute, crochet and the quiver, running through the stuff like romantic scale. I'm gonna double you with R&B, mastermind with R&B, Afro-B, you wanna know. I'm the big thing, I'm the strong thing, long thing. I'm the big thing, I'm your Mr. R&B. I'm your soulful baby girl, lollipop every night. The brown sugar you wanna know. I'm the lover boy, sugar boy, sassy and sexy baby. I'm gonna groove you, baby, don't stop. I'm gonna tease you and treat you, groove you and move you, baby girl. I'm your fantasy real life. I'm the big M, big M, only. I'm the strong thing, long thing. I'm the real thing, baby. I'm the big M. I am your Mr. R&B. I'm gonna turn you on like a bathroom shower, fix it up like a Tinder mirror. I'm gonna move you around like it was from the garden, lick it up like it honeycomb. I'm gonna treat you up like a super angel. Love you, hold it tight, you kiss you right all along, baby. I'm the big M, I'm the real thing, long thing. I'm your fantasy real life. I'm your Mr. R&B. I'm your big man. I'm a strong thing. I'm your strong thing. I'm your lover boy. You can feel me right now on your deck right now. Mr. R&B, I'm the big M. I'm the strong thing. I'm gonna move you right from the table, take you by the beach. You can groove me around on and on to your life. Mr. R&B. I'm a Mr. R&B.
Okay, Rebecca, the first question is, who is Rebecca Monye?
Great question, Ademola. Who is Rebecca? Well, Rebecca, I don't even know how to begin to answer that question. Well, I was born in Nigeria, born and raised actually, migrated to the U.S. As a teenager, went to high school, went to college here, and basically, I've always had a passion for Nigeria, being the fact that my immediate family was still in Nigeria, and I really missed them and sometimes felt alone. But on one particular day, I was watching a movie, and it was starring Van Vicker, and I was just captivated by the way he was acting. I was mesmerized by his character. And then I also watched another movie with Majid Michel, and I actually remember that movie very well. I was sneaking to watch that movie because I wasn't supposed to watch it. I think the movie was Shakira or something, Majid Michel with Mercy Johnson, and that movie, I was like, oh my God, you know? How cool is that? And that really just put a smile on my face, took me out of my element, and I just really loved that I connected so easily with those characters, and that really birthed my obsession with Nollywood. I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to contribute to it. I'm naturally a social person, and people naturally gravitate to me. But once I really got that connection to home, you know, my self-esteem, my morale, everything was just boosted once I saw that connection with Nollywood. So that's really how I started thinking about how to really impact and contribute to the industry, and it never stopped. It's still, I still feel the exact same way now.
How did you venture into the business of movie premiere?
Well, actually, I've always been in the premiering business, whether directly or indirectly, and it's really been a fun and exciting way to really showcase Nollywood in the United States of America. My very first premiere experience, I would say, would be around 3 years ago, and it definitely was completely different from Hollywood, but it was so exciting to see how accepting that premiere was, and really just how many people who showed up. I was blown away by it. I didn't really know that there was that many people interested in the African entertainment industry, just like I was. And it seems not, you know, I'm not the only one homesick. Everybody wants that connection back home. They want to show those back home that, you know, we're doing something and we're very serious about it. We appreciate Nollywood Africa, and our extension over here is also accepted. So it was a really, really great experience.
Tell me the history, the acceptance of Nigerian movie and Ghanaian movie in America, and what is spurring you to organize this premiere? Is it out of the demand, or you want to use it to create awareness about movies, Nigerian and Ghanaian movies in America?
Great question, Ademola. When you say history of Nollywood in America, I would say the actual boldness or stepping out in America would be around 2000, and really completed production, I would say 2001, 2002. I know of a lot of people, well, really a handful of people here in Houston, Texas, who actually put a product out there. For example, Papa G, Don Okolo, John Okafor, you know, really just a small number of people actually completed a Nollywood movie and started distributing it here in the U.S. But
As far as independent filmmaking, it's been years since independent filmmakers have been making movies in the U.S. And they do have a very strong and solid fan base where there are people out there who actually just go to the movie theaters to see independent films because they're more original, their stories are definitely less cliche from the normal Hollywood movie, which is mostly commercialized. And if you see a lot of Nollywood movies, it normally has like 3 basic ending. The guy saves the world, the guy gets the girl, the guy kills the bad guy. That's normally what all those movies are about. But independent films kind of twist that around and change the situations. Even if the outcome is of those 3 I just mentioned, the outcome is still very, very different. So there are even movie theaters here in the United States that only premiere independent films. The festivals that definitely showcase that, like, for example, the Sundance Festival, they're very well known for really pushing out their independent films. So as far as Nollywood is concerned, I would definitely say around the year 2000 was when we really got the boldness to put something on the market and label it Nollywood.
We just need some fun, okay? Let's just have time to miss each other.
When James's relationship takes a turn for the worst, he and his wife plan a romantic getaway.
If you know you want to be like Tony, just tell me, okay? Don't waste my time.
You really think this little vacation is going to help you with your marriage?
Spending time with my wife would be a good thing because we need to spice things up.
We're going to Vegas.
But what wasn't in the plan was a night out with the boys.
James, what do you mean?
Well, I guess it is.
Yeah. The creators of Paparazzi Eye in the Dark introduce a new film.
What's up with you, James?
From director John Uche.
Stay single, all right? A wife will make you DBH. Desperate, broken, and horny.
Never looked at a woman, it was considered cheating.
I need to talk to you.
Cinematography by Black Magic Tim.
I have not heard from you since you left me in that hotel.
A group of friends finds that what happens in Vegas
is not my son.
Doesn't always stay in Vegas. Jimmy Jean Louise, John DeMello, Siraj Bertine, Yvonne Nelson, Van Vicker. A Kobe Maxwell film. Special appearances by Michael Blackson.
Well, the motivation behind organizing this premiere really would be just to put something else that is well done, with the right faces in it, telling the right story that people definitely connect with. My passion for Nollywood is to put a message out there that we still connect to Africa. We're still a part of it. We still embrace the culture. A lot of us still speak the language, and those of us who can't speak the language, we still connect with the culture. It's in our blood. It's in our veins. It's in everything that we do. Even though sometimes we try to suppress it to blend in, but it's still there. Eventually it finds a way to seep out. I would definitely say my motivation behind this premiere is to really spread the word about culture, about how we deal with certain situations. For example, this movie One Night in Vegas talks about something that is very, very real. It talks about a very real situation between 2 couples, and even though there is the glam and the beauty of America, the freedom to do whatever you want to do, the truth still finds a way to seep out, and you're left with facing reality or pretending it does not exist. So I would definitely say to tell a story that is real, that connects with the audience and a fan that has a longing for back home.
Mr. R&B, Oshmako. Oshibose. I love
Yes, absolutely. There is a demand for Nollywood in America, for Nollywood in Europe, period. Like I was saying earlier, there are fans who definitely support the independent film industry. And if you want to really look at where Nollywood fits in as far as America is concerned, I would say Nollywood definitely fits under the independent filmmaking industry. And a movie like One Night in Vegas definitely counts as that movie that will not only connect with Nigerians, even in Nigeria, or Nigerians in America, but any other culture, any other race, any other person that has a beating heart would understand what it means to understand what the story means. So definitely there is a huge market for Nollywood. We're having a little bit of issue with marketing and proper representation, but that's why I'm here. That's why Nollywood Spotlight is here, is to properly represent the industry and to really put it on a scale that it deserves.
Tell me a little bit of some of the challenges you've encountered while preparing for this.
Great question. Again, I would say with challenges, it really not as far as the premiere itself is concerned, or securing the right facility, getting the word out. None of that really is an issue, because in Houston, Texas, we have at least, I would say, 5 different television stations owned by Africans, whether Nigerians, Ghanaians, African Americans of, the African, born into an African family, whether first, second, or third generation. So we actually have outlets to promote our work. And also we also have like other independent channels where you could really push out something like this. I would say really the biggest problem personally is I'm a perfectionist. So I want everything to be perfect. I'm doing things a little bit differently. So definitely those of you who are coming to this premiere, those of you who have already bought tickets for it, expect something fabulous. So I'm making sure that everything is perfect and it's classy, it's elegant, and everyone still gets an opportunity to have a really great time. So for me, it's just the anxiety of of making sure everything works out perfectly. But on the other hand, it's really getting sponsors to see that, even though it's a premiere, we do want them to also be a part of this. So I think, time is sometimes a blessing and sometimes a curse, to be honest, to get to the right sponsors in the right amount of time to allow them ample time to make a decision, I would say would be another issue that we're facing right now. But other than that, I'm really excited. I'm really happy about this premiere. I think it's moving fabulously, moving forward greatly. I mean, we've done so much in so little time, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Tell me the day and the date and time that the premiere will hold, and the likely guests you are expecting. Are there movie actors in Ghana and Nigeria that will be present at the event? And mention their names, some of the people you've met that you've talked with and are likely to be at the event, where the event is going to take place.
Yes, the premiere is going to be on Saturday, September 6th, 2014, and it is going to be at 7:30 p.m. That's when the red carpet will begin, and the location is 8250 Creek Bend Drive, Houston, Texas, 77071. And this will be at the Igbo Community Center on Creek Bend. So it's a very beautiful facility, wide, wonderful dancing space and sitting space, and it's going to be wonderful. I'm very excited about it.
Mr. R&B, Oshmako, Oshimase, Alabase, Oshimase, Makumane, Oshimase,
Ooh, guest that might be appearing. I'm sure everybody wants to know that. As you can see on the flyer, definitely there is Yvonne Nelson, Van Vicker, John DeMello, Kobe Maxwell, Sandra Fondafe is on there, Sierra Law is there. I think we're definitely working on those stars. Right now, we're looking at other stars that are not part of the film itself. Chris Sato is one of them. We've sent a message out to Chika Ike. We reached out to Mercy Johnson. So really, we're just looking at our budget and feedback and making sure that a lot of these stars appear at the event.
And what is your expectation after the event? Is it to broaden the acceptance of Nollywood and Gollywood in America, or to increase the marketability of those movie industries in America?
My ultimate expectation of this movie premiere is definitely to increase the visibility and acceptance of Nollywood in Europe. One Night in Vegas is an excellent movie that was done very, very well. It's one of those very few handful of movies that came out of the United States properly done with the right faces, the right story, the right everything. And it's just one of those proud projects that I personally feel definitely represents Nollywood to the best possible, you know. And this is definitely an opportunity to really spread the word that Nollywood, with its original story, has the potential to be just as fabulous and fantastic as Hollywood. And to bring the younger generation to get involved, whether it's in acting, whether it's in filmmaking, you know, even though their ultimate goal and dream is to end up in Hollywood, definitely pick Nollywood as one of the stepping stones to get you up there. So I'm definitely proud of all these other producers, directors, cinematographer. One of the key ones I would say is A.B. Salou, who is very well known here in Houston, Texas. He's a great director. He's one of the big wigs in Papa G production. And of course, Papa G, John Okafo, Don Okolo, Miss Inkem, Mary Ellis, Chichi Okonkwo. I mean, so many people really pushing Nollywood out there, and I'm very, very proud of them. But for sure, also, I would like this project to be one of the projects where marketers and distributors who see Nollywood and definitely take a second look, increase the possibility of marketing under name brands like Walmart, Netflix, you know, great and powerful distributors that will really take Nollywood to the next level. So the guest list is definitely A+, and I'm working hard every day to make sure that these people don't take Nollywood for granted. Ademola with Backstage Story. I definitely want to thank you so much for this wonderful interview. A lot of people don't know this, but Nollywood Spotlight is not the only one working tirelessly behind the scenes to put this fabulous movie premiere together. I also have the president and owner of Sierra Films, excellent actor and producer, Mohamed Ba, also working with me. Mohamed Ba is from Sierra Leone, so he also is really pushing the Sierra Leonean community to support this premiere in Houston, Texas, and there is a very large community of Sierra Leoneans here in the United States. So it's such a wonderful privilege to work with them. He's a great person, and he's doing so much for the industry. I mean, even to the point that he's meeting with the Attorney General of Houston, Texas, to help support Nollywood in general. And I'm just really, really proud to work with such fabulous people who have such drive, passion, and motivation for the Nollywood entertainment industry, and really to bring that positive and organized attitude to this premiere. So I really, really appreciate that.
And this is Demola Sanyaolu saying, download your app. You can get Nollywood Radio France online on the Google Play Store. You can also log on to www.nollywoodradiofrance.com. Check out for all our programs. This is Demola saying bye-bye until I see you on the next episode. Hello, listeners. I'm still here with you. It's another exciting episode of the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. Nice to be here with you again. I have a special guest with me today. A lot of people call her Mahida. She's going to tell you her real name. She's going to tell you quite a few things about herself today. You're going to know who she is, where she comes from, what she does for a living, and things like that. Just stay tuned. I'll be right back after this time.
Try to do my best, try to figure who you really are. Baby, I don't know what you really want. Baby, you don't know just what you mean to me. Try to understand you, but it's really hard. Cause there's nothing you can say. We're like water and flames, and we can't see eye to eye on anything. Like water and flames, and there's nothing to say. And we can't see eye to eye on anything. To say those words, you know. Heaven knows I would have let it go. But when you left, it felt like hell on earth. Or did it feel like me in paradise? Cause there's nothing you can say. We're like water and flames, and we can't see eye to eye on anything. Like water and flames, and there's nothing to say. And we can't see eye to eye on anything. Maybe I should have loved you a little bit better. Oh, maybe it's all my fault that I couldn't love you. I can't live it on my own. It's so clear now, babe, we shouldn't be. So out that door, baby, please. It's a long way out and there's no coming back. So I'm saying. Cause there's nothing you can say. We're like water and flames, and we can't see eye to eye on anything. Like water and flames, and there's nothing to say. And we can't see eye to eye on anything.
Yes, welcome back. This is still Demola on the Backstage Story Show. I have Mahida with me. Mahida, say hello to your friends in diaspora, Nigeria, France, and in the U.S.
Hello, fans. It's your girl Mahida. My real name's Caroline Sam. What's up? I'm on the Backstage show with Demola on Nollywood Radio France.
All right, that's Mahida. Mahida, what's up with you? Where have you been?
Well, I've been in Holland, chilling.
And now you're back in Nigeria fully?
Yeah, I'm back in Nigeria. Actually, no, for the holidays, but of course we don't have holidays. Our holidays are working days also.
All right. So, Mahida, can you tell us a bit history about your background growing up?
Oh, that's a long story. I'll just say I grew up as an orphan. I really fetched for myself, and yeah, it wasn't easy. So let me just put it that way. So it was a hard childhood. What role do you think your industry is playing to boost Nigeria's economy? One, and two, how do you think you is contributing to the development of the younger generation in Nigeria? Well, at the moment, I really can't answer because I'm not seeing a lot being done, by the industry, whatever, But for me, I'm still really trying to find my way. But I believe as soon as I find my way, I have my plans for this country, for my country, basically.
All right. Your role as an artist, and some criticisms you've been facing in the recent times. What do you have to say about them?
It's okay. It's normal. If you do showbiz, you should know that is normal. It's okay.
So some of your paparazzi is just
it's just
for a frenzy.
Business. We're keeping people entertained, and that's our job. We need to bring something to the table.
All right. So for your friends and fans in Nigeria and diaspora, what message do you have for them?
Stay tuned. We're trying to change the Nigerian entertainment industry, and I'm one of them. You'll be entertained.
That was Mahida for you on the Backstage Story Show on Nollywood Radio France. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after this time out.
Baby, into the room, perfect yet unaware. He cut me off my guard, baby. Oh, so sad, cause I know this feeling way I get for you, baby. No be play. Did all my best to make you see that my love for you, girl, is heavenly. And baby, no be lying, yo. Yeah, and baby, no be lying. But it's still not fair. My feelings for you, girl, I know feet tell. You did let me 10-10. Baby, why be say you gonna do me so? Baby, why be say you gonna play me so? You didn't play me, oh. I'm gonna get you no try. The way you just run around on fireflies. But me, when you see, I know they carry last. No, they carry last. You didn't play me, oh. I'm gonna get you no try. The way you just run around on fireflies. But me, when you see, I know they carry last. No, they carry last. Hey, it gets us to be for this love, a blessing, of course, a sorrow, a joy. Baby, you didn't switch your body to drive me insane. The way you didn't front your body, they busting my brain, no. You stab me from behind, no. And you mash up my mind, no. The one's not saying now, oh,